Greetings, my name is Christoffer-Judd, and today we're going to be discussing the effect of spring orthotics on loading rate during overground running. So, for those viewing this video, I want to ask a rhetorical question. Have you ever ran for an unspecific amount of time, and after you ran, you noticed that you were in some sort of pain? When people run, the demands of the body result in high forces that can place high stresses on the body as a result of high impact forces as well as high loading rates. This can have a negative impact in the form of injuries. And to combat the detrimental effects of running, we looked at how technology, specifically shoe inserts or spring orthotics that you essentially put inside of a shoe, would help prevent overuse injury in runners. So for this study, we had a total of 8 participants, and for each participant, we gathered basic information such as age, sex, height, and weight, which was followed by a warm-up period. After the warm-up period, we put them through one of 2 conditions, either with or without the spring orthotics in the shoe, which was randomized with 3 different speeds. And the 3 speeds were based off an initially tested preferred speed, which was different for each participant, 10% higher or 10% faster than their preferred speed and 10% slower than their preferred speed. During each condition and specified speed, we observed the participants' forces when making contact with the ground using a force plate. And we did this 5 times for each of the 2 conditions and 3 speeds combined and calculated the average loading rate. Loading rate is essentially the amount of force a person produces when coming in contact with the ground over the amount of time that it takes to make that contact. And to be clear, you can think of it as higher loading rates can result in higher stresses placed on the body. And to quantify the results and assess the loading rate between the conditions, a 2x3 measures ANOVA statistical test was performed. After analyzing the results, we were able to observe that loading rate was not really influenced as much by the interaction of speed and condition. This means that the loading rate was the same when they ran at different speeds with the same condition, either with or without the spring orthotic. However, when we analyzed the loading rate between conditions, we observed a significant difference between the 2 conditions at the same speed. To be clear, when participants ran at the same speed, either with the spring orthotic in the shoe or with it not in the shoe, there was a difference in loading rate between those 2 conditions. Based off of the data that we collected from the research study, as well as previous literatures, we do believe that there is a beneficial use to spring orthotics and that there can be a reduction in injury rates among runners.